Hello lovely people, it is Amanda from Mystical Dragon here, presenting another little looky at a new oracle deck. This deck I was really interested to have a look at. It is Judy Hall's first deck. For anyone that's a crystal lover, you will probably be aware of Judy Hall's books. She has quite a few crystal books. But this is the first deck that I've seen that is connected with her. And this one is called the Crystals for Beginners deck. And it is a 50 card deck. And it is a double-sided card deck. So we have imagery on one side with just a few words. And then we actually have quite a bit of information on the back of each of the cards. So let's have a little squizzy at this one. I have the guidebook here for us, and look, it's not a very big guidebook at all, and that is because the information for the cards are actually being provided on the back of each of the cards. So the guidebook is more, you can't look up the cards themselves. It is more to kind of guide you in the ways to use your deck, but it also has a couple of layouts in the back of the guidebook. I'll just give you a little squizzy. So there's an introduction. She talks a bit about crystal energy, crystal power, crystal vibrations, crystals and healing, connecting them in with the chakras. So just very concise information here. Then she talks a bit about the cards. So cleansing your cards, a few different ways to do that, activating the deck, getting to know the cards themselves, and choosing a card, and then some crystal exercises, so a little exercise to help attune you to the deck itself. And then there's a couple of what she calls crystal layouts, which you can either use the cards or actual crystals that she's recommended to be able to. So it's about laying down and putting crystals in certain places and doing a certain visualizations or meditations to achieve a certain result. So the first one, full chakra cleanse, balance and recharge. There's improving your mind layout and accessing your spiritual gifts layout as well. And then a bit about the author at the end. So not a huge guidebook, and you know, it's not got a hard cover or anything like that, more like a little reference guide. The interesting thing is the focus that Judy has from reading her guidebook, excuse me, is this is to help teach you crystals, to help you be able to learn, understand more about the crystals, and also you can use this deck to be able to help you choose what is the right crystal for me. Then she says that you can use the cards in the same way as actually if you had the crystals themselves. So let's say we've got amber here on the top. You might not own amber yet, but you might pick out the amber card and be like, I need to work with amber today. So she says that you can carry the card in the same way as if you carried the amber crystal, and that it holds a lot of energy connected to amber. So and so the same with the layouts. If you don't have the crystals that she's recommending, you can either use the actual crystals, you can use the cards in their place, or you could use a combination thereof. So that's her approach to this particular deck. So I guess not so much an oracle deck as in let's do a spread, let's do a reading for somebody. It's not advocated at all in that way. This is about having a simple way to start to really get to know the different crystals. So each one has got information on the back. So each one has the image, and they're really good images to help you get to know the crystals, which that side of it I am impressed with. You really understand the name of the crystal, and then some key energies. So this crystal is for balance and renewal. And then on the back, there's quite a bit of information on the back of each card. So she's connected this with body, stabilizing influence. Then she has a vibration, some information about the crystal, and then she has key energies for mind and spirit, and has a bit of information on what it looks like for each of the cards. So I'll do a little flip through from the front, and then I might just flip over and do a little flip through from the back for you. So as I said, there's 50 different cards, so therefore 50 different crystals that are in this deck. Some really nice imagery. You can see it's it looks like a photo of that particular crystal that's on the card. And they've made it a really nice clean background to help, I think, with being able to see the colours and patterns of the crystals quite clearly. Looks like good ones that she's started with as well, like of course all your classic ones that most people start their crystal collections with, and everything that I'm seeing are the ones that are fairly easy to get your hands on, which I think is always good if you're advocating as a crystal deck for beginners. You know, it's hard when people come in, they have a deck or a book that has crystals that those of us that have crystal shops have never heard of and have to go trying to find them for people. And then just a flip through the back, which will be just be having a look at lots of words, but still just gives you a bit of a sense as to how much words, how much information is on the backs. Something like keywords here. So you do get a, looks like 2 to 3 paragraphs of information per crystal. And then the rest looks like mostly keywords in different areas, like the body, spirit, mind. And even vibration she's got listed, whether it's an earthly vibration, extremely high vibration, medium to high vibration. And I'm pretty sure I saw that a little explanation about that in the guidebook as well, to give you more insight into what she's referring to with that as well. So it does look like a really handy deck, especially for those of you that are trying to learn the different crystals, trying to identify different crystals, because the photos are really good. I'm not sure if I would use the actual cards themselves in replace of those crystals in things like a layout. But that's just me personally. I think that the crystal would hold more energy than the card, but I guess you'd have to have a bit of a play with that for yourself and see how you found that, which I have not done myself, but that's just the only thing that I would question with this particular deck. But certainly a lovely deck, great images, very easy to understand, so definitely perfect for anyone starting out or haven't gone down the crystal path too far. Certainly something to explore there. As I said, great pictures, so you would certainly learn more about your crystals and being able to identify maybe what you already have at home and what you're using, and help you to identify what should I work with today. It could be a good way to do a shuffle in the morning, select a card or 2 or 3 and then go to your shelf and maybe collect out those particular crystals, and having half a sense as to why you might have selected that, because you've been able to read the back of the cards and say, oh, that makes sense as to why I'm drawn to that particular crystal. So there you go, guys, another card deck that we've managed to have a look at. Let me know what you think of this one, if you've already got it, or just from having a flip through, what your thoughts are if you are keen for this one. Remember, Mystical Dragon does sell this deck. We have our e-store, and we also have our face-to-face in-person store in Seaford, Victoria, Australia, where you can pop down and take a look at our beautiful store and all the many spiritual items we have, and be able to buy your crystals at the same time as your cards, witchy supplies and other things. We will have more flip throughs coming up, more spells and moon videos coming up, all sorts of spiritual stuff. So do stay tuned with us, guys. I look forward to chatting again soon.